go out there, fly around at the linebacker position, get a pick six, so that's good to see.
Bowen Phelps, our guy. So you've heard from the defense. How about the offense? Latrell Caples, a 2-touchdown night for Latrell. He'll join us live on the set next with the Horseshoe Collective Postgame Show, brought to you by DrinkSip. Latrell Caples coming up.
At Title One, we're more than a title and escrow company. It starts with respect, and we pass it on.
Because humility makes us better teammates.
We stay hungry on and off the field.
And healthy in mind and body. With integrity at every step.
And community in our heart.
Boise, football season is here. And whether it's touchdowns or turnovers, fans are still waking up happy thanks to DrinkSip non-alcoholic beer. Always fresh, lower calories, delicious taste. Celebrate the highs, rally through the lows, and always stay in the game. A portion of sales goes to help student athletes. DrinkSip NA Beer Company, brought to you by Bronco legend DeMarcus Lawrence and proud sponsor of the Horseshoe Collective.
Well, back here on the Blue, Horseshoe Collective Postgame Show, brought to you by DrinkSip. And a 47-14 win for Boise State tonight. 3 straight wins, 3-1 now, and another win at home on the Blue. Latrell Caples, you've heard of him. 2 touchdowns tonight, Latrell. And the first touchdown of the game, you get the ball first after the coin flip. How did that feel, that first touchdown?
Oh, man, it felt great. We got the offense on the field, go down the field and score on that drive. I mean, it was amazing.
Do you like that, by the way? You like starting with the ball, I imagine?
I mean, me personally, I like setting the tone, so for sure. Yeah, like if we go score, I know the defense is going to go get a stop. So it's just like from there on, boom, boom, boom. Then we just got to figure out how we win the middle 8 from there, but with them getting the ball back. But being able to come in here and dominate the night, I mean, getting the ball first is brilliant.
We were just talking off air. Only so few times have you had multiple touchdown nights, right, especially on the Blue. You've been somebody that's been a journeyman. You've been here a long time, man. You're a veteran in the group. I know you lead that group. But just talk about how special it is to come out here, have a night like tonight with those 5 catches, 83 yards, 2 tuds, just how special that is for you, especially on the Blue.
Oh, man, on the Blue it felt great. I mean, all week we talk about protecting it because it's our home. I mean, we can't let nobody come in our home and just beat us and do that. And you know, I came in this week, I was fired up about this game because I feel like this team, they kind of feel like they're like us a little bit. So being able to go out there and just dominate them and show them there's only one Boise State on the Blue in front of the best fans in the country. I mean, I can't ask for a better second home game of the year.
Some really great catches. I'm going to go off script a little. I'm looking at the highlights here. Take me through that first tud. What was the call? What were you looking for? Was it a man beater, and how'd you beat the D? And then, the second one was obviously you got in rhythm. Maddox hit you in rhythm, and then you made a guy miss. Mm-hmm. Talk about those plays.
Oh, well, the first one was a play we put in this week. We kind of knew by the way we were walking through it that it was going to hit tonight because it was just –
There's some dance moves too, Latrell. You got to talk about that too.
Yeah, I talked about
You got to coach up Mad Dog.
Yeah, that
ain't you, I promise, yeah.
Yeah, but the first one we talked about the play during the week. We got a lot of man looks on it during the play, but this week we didn't get a man look. Guy was kind of trying to get me off my pivot, linebacker trying to bump you on your under drag, break 2 tackles, go score. I mean, be a playmaker. Maddox did a good job giving me a chance, and getting in the end zone was great. And then the second one, it was actually a free play. Believe it or not, that was going to be a run play, but they jumped off sides. I'm gonna get off the ball every time. Got a little probably cover 3 look. He tried to buzz to the flat, got around him. Maddox hit me hot, made a guy miss. Got in the end zone. The dance is actually the trip out. Shout out RP Kyron Lacey, dude from LSU. Just a little paying homage to him. I mean, it's a great dance.
It's beautiful.
Always excited getting
something
in the end
I
zone.
could never do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
10 guys getting the receiving catches tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Just the offense, its groove. Where are we at right now? And in your perspective, like the weeks of practice we're having, especially going into a big week.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was awesome to see that many guys touch the ball.
Yeah, it is awesome. I mean, we got a lot of playmakers, and we got a lot of guys that practice hard. We got a lot of guys that come in every day, get their body right, and just ready to go out there and practice, and it shows on the field. I mean, guys like Cam Bates, Quinn Brown got a big touchdown today. Young cat from the great state. I mean, being able to see that is great because those guys practice hard, and we preach it. I mean, if you practice hard, you're going to get your chance in the game, and those guys did, and everybody did, and it was great to see.
Is this team, how different does this team feel from after that week 1 game? Do you feel, did you feel a shift happen? Was it just after the first win at home? Has this team changed in your mind from week 1?
Yeah, for sure. Week 1 was just not our character. It wasn't a Boise State game, and we talked about that as a leadership, as a team, and we just found ways to fix it. It wasn't like a huge fix. It was more so, I mean, Coach D preached it all the time, effort and mentality. I mean, we have to get to the ball. We have to be able to go out there high energy and just dominate. And the past 3 weeks we've been doing that. We've got a big game next week, so being able to stay consistent and come in and practice hard, and knowing if we just do our job at a high level, elite level, we'll be able to win games.
Hey, I know you a little bit. We spent some time in the offseason, but the leadership from you is, I know, a big piece for how you play the position. Just talk about going into a week like this, how you're going to lead the guys, the group, the offense, and just what is important to you to show as a guy that's in his, so many games left, right, on the blue and representing Boise State, but just what it means to you to go to play in Notre Dame next week and how you're going to lead.
I mean, I'm going to lead it the same way I've been leading. I mean, coming in, doing my job at a high level, practicing hard. I mean, that's the one thing I can do is practice hard, because if guys see that a leader that's an old guy that's been here forever, still practicing hard, still doing this thing, they're going to want to follow behind him. So being able to do that, lead by example, and then also lead by words. I mean, everybody knows it's a big game, but it's also still football. Like, we've been playing football our whole life. Those guys bleed like we bleed. We just got to go out there and believe in ourselves and execute. That's all we got to do. And I'm going to be preaching that. I think the whole building's going to be preaching that.
Love it.
It's going to be us versus them, and we got to go in there and do our job at an elite high level.
Taylor's going to suit up after that speech, man.
I'm ready.
He's ready to go. I don't know. QB3, QB4, QB5.
I don't know if the cameras are picking up this watch right now.
Come
on,
this
watch. This watch is pretty
nice.
sick. This is a sweet watch. I'm a little blind. I got to get my eyes set up.
We don't need the lights for that one. That shines on its own. Latrell Caples.
It was a gift.
Yeah, I like it. We appreciate you, man. Thank you. Best of luck, Notre Dame. We know it's a big one and an exciting time, I'm sure, in your football career to have a game and a moment like that. So thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So Latrell Caples, 2 touchdowns tonight. Big win for the Broncos. We still have more to come. A little celebrity appearance. Jay Tust, some Tust stats. We'll get into that. And maybe more thoughts from the guys on what a big game is coming up on Saturday in South Bend. We'll have more coming up. It's the Horseshoe Collective Postgame Show brought to you by DrinkSip.
At Title One, we're more than a title and escrow company. It starts with respect, and we pass it on.
Because humility makes us better teammates.
We stay hungry on and off the field.
And healthy in mind and body.
With integrity at every step.
And community in our heart.
Boise, football season is here, and whether it's touchdowns or turnovers, fans are still waking up happy thanks to DrinkSip non-alcoholic beer. Always fresh, lower calories, delicious taste. Celebrate the highs, rally through the lows, and always stay in the game. A portion of sales goes to help student athletes. DrinkSip NA Beer Company, brought to you by Bronco legend DeMarcus Lawrence and proud sponsor of the Horseshoe Collective.
Back here on the Blue Horseshoe Collective Postgame Show, Joey Jenkins along with Taylor Tharp and Tyreque Jones. We get a chance now to break this down. Jay Tust coming up with some Tust stats. We'll get into that, and we'll get ready for next week against Notre Dame. But, Taylor, I want to start with you about Maddox Madsen spreading the ball out. Is that hard to do as a quarterback, to get 10 guys the ball in one game?
I mean, when you're working within the offense and the type of offense that we like to run, which is play action pass, obviously establish the run. There's no one guy that deserves to get all the balls. It's obviously great to see it get spread out. I think he did a really tremendous job of taking what was there for him tonight. He was in rhythm. When he wasn't, we saw some things not go the way they should, but ultimately Maddox had a great night, got 10 different guys involved. We just had Latrell on, who had a big night. I just think that's when he's his best. When we get the run game going, he's spreading the ball out. There's multiple guys involved, and that just makes it so hard for the defense because they can't just stop one guy. We can go attack him a lot of different ways. So super awesome to see him play like that, and needed, especially for where we're at in the season. Yeah, and 3-1 for this team. And then, of course, obviously a huge game, South Bend on Saturday. Tyreque for the defense. I've heard this before. You can prove it. Mythbusters, if you ever remember that show. Yeah. True or false? Are interceptions contagious? When you were on that team and turnovers were happening, I mean, is it something that feels like because we saw 2 tonight. Yeah. That took it to the house, 3 total. And honestly, I kind of having Bo up here and asking him, that's why I asked him, how does it feel to get those turnovers as far as, the team and, the juice is flowing? It can be contagious. And granted, it's not just limited to just interceptions. It's fumbles. We consider 4th down stops to be turnovers. I mean, that's not a true stat, as far as football, but that's something that we take in and we take pride in. So it's really huge. And granted, on the flip side of that, you help the offense. When we get turnovers, you give them more opportunities to come on the field and put more points on. And then for us tonight, 2 pick sixes, so I didn't even have to come back out. I was just about to say, what a blessing it is to be sitting there on the sideline. And obviously we went down and scored early, but for the defense to get that pick 6 early, huge. Yeah. And for an offense, knowing that we've got that lead, playing with that confidence is such a big piece. So for the defense to go get 2 tuds, that doesn't happen very often, but got to tip your cap to the defense, but team effort tonight because the offense took care of the ball. They didn't turn it over either. Because the offense is scoring, so the defense is happy. The defense is getting pick 6s, so Maddox is going, thank you for the cushion. And then the crowd tonight, as we look at some scenes from the crowd tonight, obviously, I think now with the lights the way that they can change color, everyone loves a night on the blue. What is it like as a player to have an environment like it is tonight? I mean, just to have something to where you can feed off of it, right? I mean, you talked about, turnovers being contagious. I mean, just the environment itself can be contagious. And to have a fan base like Bronco Nation, I mean, just something to point out is 3rd down, right? Yeah. I mean, just the noise that is made and the false starts that are created off of that is another part. I mean, we can kind of consider them to be 12th man. Yeah. I mean, in a way, they're also a part of, the defense and helping us do what we need to do. So it's great to see how they're involved. Taylor, when you were playing, they couldn't change the lights like that. They didn't have that either the technology or the money, but they do now. No, but the field was still blue. And we still always won on the blue, and that's the pride and tradition, right? And that's important to everybody that's played here before and to these guys now. I know that the home fans come in here and they expect to see a certain type of football. They expect to see us come in and be efficient on offense, get those stops on defense. That's what it's like to come to a game, whether you're a player, and I've been a part of it as a player, on staff, and sitting in the stands, but just knowing that dominating on the blue is going to happen, that's the feeling we all want to have. We've had it for a lot of years, but to be on the blue, to have a big night where you get a lot of different things going your way, that's what's special about this place because it gets loud. The lights are great. That's awesome. But I just think there's something about it's hard for teams to come in here and beat us on this field, and we've always proven that. But when we come out and show it, we come out and we play our game on the blue, man, it's special. And when you win 47-14, really easy to get people here the next home game. And that's the thing, too, is every one of these fans that left Albertsons Stadium tonight, they're going, that was fun. Yeah. What time is the next one? Most definitely. And that's going to be big. Shifting from what we have this Saturday, player's perspective, do you build it up? Do you say this is a special game? This is Notre Dame. What is that mindset like, knowing, oh my gosh, we're going to play Notre Dame football? Yeah, I think it. Sorry, I think from the fans' perspective, it's obviously the biggest week of the season. And I catch myself sometimes now as an alum and a fan. Everybody's talking about Notre Dame. I think we just saw a couple examples from the players here where we tried to set it up for next week, and they're like, look, we're just going back to work. We've been putting in the work all summer. We've been putting in the work this season, and we're going back to work next week to practice the way we've been practicing. And it doesn't matter who we're playing or where we're at, we're going to go play our brand of football. That's what I think as players you do want to hear, because it's not about building it up. It's that performance anxiety curve, not too high, not too low, just do our deal. And that's where I think the guys need to be at. So coming off tonight's win, as a fan, I'm pretty excited for next week. Yeah, Tyreque. And even to kind of prep for it, right? You talk about do we make it big? Do we keep it small? I think we be honest, right? Notre Dame, they're a respectable program. We give them that.
But from there, they gotta lace up, they gotta strap up, they gotta play football just like we do. And you kind of bring it back to that to let them know, like, yes, like their program is respectable.
Yeah.
But the players still have to come out and they have to play football still, and they're
just as nervous, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's going to be exciting, and for the guys, I would say, like, kind of like we heard Bo up here. I mean, whatever worked this week as far as your prep, take that with you next week and just keep building on it. And as we progress through this season, you know, the prep and stuff, that's one of the most important pieces, you know, heading into a game. And so to see them, you know, put all this stuff together and they have a big game next week, you know, I'm excited.
Well, and complete, because the defense can look at all the things they did tonight going into that game and say, hey, look at, 14 points, the under 200 total yards of offense that you only allowed. So what's nice is a complete game before a big one on the road.
Right, and to be able to go back, watch the film, make the corrections, fix the things that we need to fix, because, as next week is a big week, they are still football players. They are still college players. They are still guys that we have to, suit up against, match up against, and we got to play football.
Yeah, big win for Boise State. The other thing, Taylor, we were talking about that maybe, we had the last week at Air Force, it was the Dylan Riley show, 5 touchdowns. It was Sire Gaines that led in rushing, which you and I both said that is probably a big confidence booster for him, that it wasn't just, it's just Dylan Riley again.
The stable at running back.
Yeah.
It's always by committee. It should be that way. Obviously, last year and the last couple of years have been a little different, but to have multiple guys that can go out and execute, that can carry the rock, and have different guys that could break out for a big night. We saw Dylan do it last week. I know Sherrod's going to have a big night, but obviously Sire Gaines having a night tonight where he gets the most yards and he ran physical. I thought our O-line set the tone. That is big, because we need guys to come in different scenarios, be fresh, run physical. But Sire Gaines is a dude, and we've all seen when he gets going, it's a difference maker. Yeah. And as an offense, like we saw with last year and different things, we feed off of, we're better play callers, we're better efficiently. Like when we run the ball first and it sets Maddox up to have a great game. I think that's what we saw tonight. Yeah. We don't need to be throwing it 50 plus times a game. I thought we ran some tight end screens tonight that were timed really well, so great play calls by Coach Potter. But ultimately, the rhythm's got to be there, and it starts with the run game. So when Sire gets off and everybody's going in the run game and the O-line setting the tempo, then we're going to have a great night, because I think that's when Maddox is most comfortable spreading the ball out like he did.
Big win. So we got a lot to get to, including Jay Tust. Tust stats. There are 2 things that happened for the first time tonight that haven't happened with Boise State in 10 years. Jay has the answer to that. He'll be joining us next on the Horseshoe Collective Postgame Show, brought to you by DrinkSip. Jay Tust. Tust stats coming up next.
At Title I, we're more than a title and escrow company. It starts with respect, and we pass it on.
Because humility makes us better teammates.
We stay hungry on and off the field.
And healthy in mind and body.
With integrity at every step.
And community in our heart.
Boise, football season is here, and whether it's touchdowns or turnovers, fans are still waking up happy thanks to DrinkSip non-alcoholic beer. Always fresh, lower calories, delicious taste. Celebrate the highs, rally through the lows, and always stay in the game. A portion of sales goes to help student athletes. DrinkSip NA Beer Company, brought to you by Bronco legend DeMarcus Lawrence, and proud sponsor of the Horseshoe Collective.
Welcome back to the Blue. They're going to shut off the lights on us. I love this. 47-14 win over Appalachian State. And by the way, look at this beauty that we have on the desk here. The painted helmet. Is this yours, Jay? You get this part of your collection, I imagine?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, Cody Gogler dropped it off. And
it's beautiful.
What a special night at Albertsons Stadium. Joey, all these nights are special here, and we only get so many of them each and every year. But tonight's game did have a little different juice to me, just really embracing our state of Idaho. We all love to live here. The great 208, another sellout. Something hit me after the game, Joey. Since Spencer Danielson has been the head coach here, he has never walked into the stadium without it being sold out on game day. Every single game since he was named the interim head coach to full-time head coach, every game has been sold out.
That's amazing. And that, remember, I mean, it used to be sometimes fighting for sellouts.
Yep.
And then what JD's done with 6 games, 6 sellouts, and then people say, no, 7. We want a Mountain West Championship game. But 47-14, we know we have some stats from this, but your overall takeaways, you have watched so many teams, complete game. Because a lot of people wondered, well, is it going to be one of those shootouts because the defense had some gaps in it the last couple weeks? No, even 2 pick sixes, I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah, the crazy thing to me, like, I wouldn't necessarily say it was a perfect game. I think this team actually all around could probably even hit another gear. But I will say this, most complete effort when it came to all 3 phases.
Yeah.
We know they put 47 points on the board. That was with 2 defensive touchdowns. But, the special teams here, especially the kickers, they've taken some heat this year. And to see Colton Boomer go out and knock 2 through the uprights, was perfect on PAT attempts. And, I mean, Joey, there was one right before a kickoff right before the end of the first half. He didn't kick it to the end zone. He kicked it through the end zone.
The crane, right?
You know what I mean? And so I know that, like, that's stuff that can be overlooked.
Yeah.
But really, all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams, they brought it. And as you hit game 4, I mean, this is the point in the season where there's enough to figure out what you're good at, what you need to improve in, and it feels like this team knows their identity. They also know where they can get better, and what a perfect time to put together your best effort of the season in all 3 phases going into next week's game at Notre Dame.
That's what I think so many fans are saying is, listen, if we're going to look a certain way before a game against Notre Dame, thank goodness it's 47-14, dominant offense, defense, great crowd tonight. Let's go through a couple of things in the last 10 years that happened tonight.
Well, I mean, we'll start off on the offensive side of the ball, and you look at what Maddox Matson's doing right now, man. He throws for 321 yards, right? He has now thrown for at least 275 yards in 3 consecutive games. Wasn't 10 years ago that happened, but the last time it happened, 2018 with Brett Rippon. Now, the thing that happened a decade ago, 47 or more points in 3 consecutive games. You have to go all the way back to the 2015 season, the last time that happened. I remind you, 51 points on the scoreboard against Eastern Washington. Then they come back, 49 points against Air Force, 47 points against App State. So what Maddox Matson's doing right now is really, really impressive. First time that's happened since Brett Rippon in 2018. And I go back to that 2015 season. The Virginia game was part of it, and that was Brett Rippon's first start. Now, there's actually some coincidence with a defensive stat, but I want to point out Latrell Caples really quick right here as you see him on your screen. He had 5 catches tonight, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. Last week, 5 catches, 87 yards. The week before that, only 1 catch. And it's so funny because this week, talking to Spencer Danielson about another player on the team, he brought up a quote that it kind of hurts my heart a little bit, but I know there's no harm intended. Stats are for losers. Yeah. But I will say this.
I saw, and you tweeted that.
I did.
Which I was impressed. I was like, Jay, you're the stat guy.
That's part of my brand, right? But I know what he means by that, and it's not only numbers that should be acknowledged. And last week, Braxton Feely was an absolute warrior on the interior. He had 1 tackle. Does not sum up what he meant to that defensive effort. But you go back to that Eastern Washington game. Latrell has 1 catch, and afterwards, despite the fact stats might be for losers, Danielson brought up, hey, we got to get Latrell more involved. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they get him more involved. 49 points against at Air Force, 47 tonight, 2 scores tonight. I've seen Latrell grow so much in his time at Boise State. And I'm telling you, like, the leader he is today, I just spoke with him moments ago. I'm so proud of him as more so as a human than even as a player, and he's phenomenal in both areas. So
his speech here, I mean, people were ready to walk to Notre Dame, I think. Yeah.
He's so good now, and you can see why he has such a key role on this team, and you can see why when he's getting the ball, it doesn't have to do with numbers. He's just an infectious player, and it makes the team overall better, in my opinion.
And then the 2 pick sixes. There's a text chain where people go, Jay, when's the last time that happened? Jay, two interceptions for a touchdown. Yeah. And then, like the encyclopedia you knew when that happened.
Whatever Joe Nickel doesn't answer off the top of his head immediately, I pick up the table scraps on. And it's really funny, though, because that actually goes back, and I brought up the Virginia game a moment ago. Brett Rippon's first start, they go on the road, they score over 50 points. That was part of a nice little stretch on offense. But in terms of defense, Justin Taimatuia, before I even sat down in the press box that night, had a pick 6, big number 90, a defensive lineman, and then Mercy Maston came back and got a pick 6 in that game too. So first time, 2 pick sixes in a single game for Boise State since that Virginia contest back in 2015. I was joking earlier today on Twitter here, Joey. So Virginia beats Florida State. Florida State beat Bama. I'm just saying, Boise State beat Virginia. We want Bama, apparently.
Apparently we do. Oregon, Penn State, all of them. We win all of them. Jay, thank you so much for the time. Just overall takeaways for going into next week. You've been to big games, and, players gave the right answers, which is just another game. But speak for the fans, for you being involved with this program, covering this program, what Saturday means in South Bend.
I'm stoked. I was joking around, actually, with Cody Gogler earlier this week. We get a game on the blue before we go to South Bend. It's like you go on vacation before you go on vacation, right?
Yeah.
And so tonight was a party. I'm so excited to get out to South Bend next week. It's going to be phenomenal. I will say, like, fans, anybody going, embrace it and have fun.
Yeah.
One challenge for the players, and I know Spencer Danielson's already at work at it, they have to make sure that this game is not more than a game.
Well, think of their
phone.
what I mean? I was thinking about it because I know more people traveling to this game than any other road game. And so how do you keep the players from like, hey, I know mom, dad, aunt, and uncle, friends may want to text you. Like, how do you kind of keep blinders on?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, that's going to be a big challenge of Spencer, but I think that you've seen how this team responded from game one when maybe there wasn't enough, honestly, maybe some leadership and there weren't enough guys speaking up. The accountability is through the roof right now. I think that you see the way, like, the guys like Ty Benefield, they're playing so fast. They're playing free. Braxton Feely, Jaden Virgin Morgan got a sack tonight. A lot of guys on offense. I feel like they are playing free and confident.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to see what that looks like against one of the best teams in America in Notre Dame.
Listen, if you start driving now, you'll be there in time. So even if you didn't get your plane tickets.
Yeah, and Joey said he will buy your gas.
I will. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one check bag maybe. All right, coming up next, Ridley's Checkout. We answer your questions back with Taylor and Tyreque. Big thanks to Jay Tust from Bronco Studios. More to come on the Horseshoe Collective Postgame Show, brought to you by DrinkSip.
At Title One, we're more than a title and escrow company. It starts with respect, and we pass it on.
Because humility makes us better teammates.
We stay hungry on and off the field.
And healthy in mind and body.
With integrity at every step.
And community in our heart.
Boise, football season is here. And whether it's touchdowns or turnovers, fans are still waking up happy thanks to DrinkSip non-alcoholic beer. Always fresh, lower calories, delicious taste. Celebrate the highs, rally through the lows, and always stay in the game. A portion of sales goes to help student athletes. DrinkSip NA Beer Company, brought to you by Bronco legend DeMarcus Lawrence and proud sponsor of the Horseshoe Collective.
Back here on the blue to wrap things up. Your Ridley's Checkout is coming in just a moment. Again, Tyreque Jones, Taylor Tharp. I am Joey Jenkins, a 47-14 win. And obviously we've been talking about Saturday, but as we take a look forward at the upcoming schedule for Boise State, I mean, yeah, Saturday. I mean, what would you, if you were still on this team, how are you preparing for that game? Are you literally going, hey, just another game? How do you prepare?
Phone.
Okay, so we talked about that. So okay,
I definitely would shut off my phone. But I would just like I kind of said earlier, like whatever helped me in this week as far as prep, I'm taking that with me next week. Probably build, add a couple things just from whatever we missed this week. But no, I'm not taking it as like the Super Bowl or this is the last game. It's another game. Granted, like I said, we're gonna respect Notre Dame. They are a great program. They're pretty established. They're one of the top teams in the country right now. But I'm not going to make it bigger than what it is. It's another football game, and if I make it bigger than that, then I can cause a lot of havoc for myself.
And Taylor, as we look at the schedule after the trip to South Bend, conference play and somewhat rare back-to-back home games. That's a nice stretch with New Mexico and UNLV, and the big one against the Red Rebels.
Yeah, I mean, we will see what happens in South Bend, and we've been talking about it. I'm not going to harp on it too much, but plain and simple, it is a big week, right? And it's going to be a big opportunity to be on that stage, to go out there. And I think everybody will be excited, players included and coaches. And you got to be excited about that. But beyond that, New Mexico's playing well. Love that we're getting them at home. I just always love when we get back on the blue, especially after a big game, no matter how next week goes, getting back in front of this home crowd. Those are going to be two tough games. UNLV, we know they're formidable. We got to go on the road, play Coach Choate, who I played with. When I played, he was there. I love Coach Choate. He's doing a great job at Nevada. Fresno's always tough. We saw San Diego State go and beat Cal. So we got a tough part of our schedule here, no doubt. But that's what it's about as far as getting locked into our week-to-week stuff. Like Tyreque just said, there's not overthinking it here. There's already a set in stone way we go about our business, from the way we watch film to that team meeting as we put this one to bed, the way the coaches are game planning. They're doing their jobs as best as they can. The players are coming in. They're ready to, soak it all up, watch the film, come out here. You got to practice hard. You got to practice for a purpose. And that's what puts you in the best position, because you can't show up and just do something special. It's about your process and following that process. So if we're locked into that, I think we got a good shot in all those games.
So it is our Ridley's checkout. Before we say goodnight, we answer some of your questions. You can do so on social media with hashtag HorseshoeQs. So first one from Daniel says, what is your favorite element on the front porch helmet? Right there, Tyreque. You're looking. You wish this was on your head a couple years ago.
I actually do, and I actually wore an F7. So to see that this is, I might actually take this with me.
Oh, so that's your helmet.
This might be my helmet. I would say, honestly, the best part of it is how they got the little, City Hall right here?
Yeah, that's the Capitol right there.
I do love the Capitol right here. That is nice. The whole helmet. Let me give the camera
a
view
look at that.
for
the stadium in the back.
Stadium. You got the Bronco on the other side, and even the 208 in the front. But just to kind of give just look at this.
It's beautiful.
What about it can you really pick apart?
Mona Lisa is jealous. Like Michelangelo, they can't do that right there. And Taylor, you're probably like, yeah, that would have been cool to get custom helmets on a game and 1,800 uniform combinations, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. It is a beautiful helmet and so cool. And I think the front porch of Idaho, that's something that Jeremiah Dickey's talked a lot about, and that's a cool way to put it. But really, it is. I've traveled around the country, and when I say I'm from Boise, they're like, that blue football field, which is cool. Taylor, you were part of that history.
Absolutely. The helmet, first of all, it's just cool because it's slick. The way it blends into the blue. Obviously, we were all blue tonight, but it's a really neat design and a take on our normal stuff. But yes, as far as what we represent and our brand, and coming here in 2003 and being a part of this growth, having parents that traveled to games and meeting people on the plains where it was starting to become a thing where people go, that's that blue field I see on TV, to then, now obviously it's what we're known for. And we represent the blue. We own it. We love it.
Love it.
Getting wins on the blue is a very important thing to us. But, we're always going to represent that.
Yeah.
And for
those
of us that live here still after we graduate and raise families here, this is a special place.
Yeah.
From the university to the football program and beyond. Boise, Idaho is a special place. So, I love the helmet. The helmet's sweet.
Another question for the Ridley's checkout about Ben Ford. This is from Mike. What did Ben Ford do to improve and grow into a significant contributor? It's been a big year for him, Taylor.
I wouldn't know everything about Ben Ford that he's done to get to this point, because he's also somebody that wasn't on my radar that has obviously come onto the scene. But what I've seen from him is somebody that's consistently showing up this season. And I think that just like if I were to go ask the coaches or go ask Maddox about him, he's probably working his tail off at practice. He's been a guy that, I've seen somebody else wear that 82 pretty darn well not too long ago that he reminds me of. And I just love the type of player he is as far as in the slot, going and making those tough catches. We see the highlight here where he was supposed to be. Maddox made a great throw, but he just seems to be a guy that's kind of earned his role. He's stepped up. We're a room that we had a lot of questions about after last year, and he's just been that solid guy in the slot that's been making a lot of plays.
I think Maddox Manson said they go golfing together a lot. I'm friends with the people I go golfing with. Maybe that's helped. Another question here on our Ridley's checkout, and again, you can go on social media, hashtag HorseshoeQs. Would Tharp ever fly in the day before a game for a cross-country trip? That sounds personal.
Uh-oh.
What is Joel Schneider talking about right now? Would Tharp ever fly in the day before? Oh, man, I'm going to assume he's just talking about being a DFO, Director of Football Ops. No, I'm flying us 2 days out, 2 days before,
so,
and I'm paying the extra night on the hotel because I'm getting my guys acclimated, and I'm making sure that we're good with that Friday day. Not knowing what we're doing next week, but Joel and I both did DFO type duties.
Yeah.
I would say, Joel, I'm going 2 days early, man. It's a big day. I want to get there. I want to have Friday to fully get set up.
App State flew in yesterday. And I heard a lot of people wonder, man, because, North Carolina, that's pretty far. But App State did fly in yesterday. I don't know if that made a difference.
So maybe that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's always important, and I think the coaches will talk about when we're going on long plane rides to get there, get acclimated, when there's time changes, those plane rides are tough. So if you think you're going in 24 hours ahead of time and hydrating guys the right way and getting there and getting acclimated, that is hard. So I always think, if we can afford it, and there's some athletic administration staff here, it's always good to go. It's always good to go.
What
early.
was your go-to plane? Was it movie, podcast? What was
honestly,
the long plane flight?
I honestly can't even last on a flight that's over 2 hours. I'm
Okay.
sleep. I'm sleeping.
All right.
On those short flights, I'm sleep. Like I remember flying back home, for like vacation, off season and stuff.
Like
and
they barely get up to where you could use your Wi-Fi. And
before the plane is even off the ground, I'm probably sleep.
That's
like
good.
I could bet on that one, but heavy sleeper.
One final question here. Again, and we'll do this every single post-game show. This is from Tanner. Saw some comments about the pass game not being in sync. How do you feel about that after seeing the stats? Jay Tust brought that up, career high for Maddox Matson. How did you feel about the pass game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the game with my 2 kids, and so I didn't get to see everything in rhythm the way I would want to watch. I saw a little bit of both. I would admit, I thought there was times when Maddox threw in rhythm, and like I referenced earlier, when our offense is in flow, when we're running the ball well, his play action passes, and he's throwing on time, I could tell he hits that last step and throws it. A lot of great throws. When things aren't as in sync, when he's flushed out, maybe protection isn't as good, his first, second read isn't there, we did struggle a little bit. So no doubt about that. But again, we moved the ball on 3rd downs. We ended up with no turnovers, 4 touchdowns in the air. So you got to take the good with the bad a little bit. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. I thought 4 was dealing it pretty well tonight and getting a lot of guys involved. So I'm going to still check the box of a pretty solid night for Maddox Madsen.
Yeah, and for the defense, Tyreque, just one last thought about their performance tonight.
Just them being lights out, flying around, 11 guys getting to the ball, and then creating turnovers. 4 turnovers. Yeah. I mean, we always want to be +3, but to be +4, and then even to win the turnover battle, that's great. But for them to respond, I mean, that's the biggest piece.
Yeah.
Let up a lot of points last week. Let up a lot of points, week 1. But just to come back and to put it on film that we can play our brand of defense and we can respond, that's great, and I love to see it.
3-1, 3 straight wins, and 1 final game before conference play starts officially, and we go through the Mountain West slate. That's going to do it for us here tonight. They kept the lights on just a little bit longer. Huge thank you to everyone for contributing to from Latrell to everybody. It was a great show. Of course, we'll be back on the 11th next time we're at home on the Blue, and we will see you then. This has been the Horseshoe Collective Postgame Show, brought to you by DrinkSip. We'll talk to you maybe in South Bend.
At Title One, we're more than a title and escrow company. It starts with respect, and we pass it on.
Because humility makes us better teammates.
We stay hungry on and off the field.
And healthy in mind and body.
With integrity at every step.
And community in our heart.
Boise, football season is here, and whether it's touchdowns or turnovers, fans are still waking up happy thanks to DrinkSip non-alcoholic beer. Always fresh, lower calories, delicious taste. Celebrate the highs, rally through the lows, and always stay in the game. A portion of sales goes to help student athletes. DrinkSip NA Beer Company, brought to you by Bronco legend DeMarcus Lawrence and proud sponsor of the Horseshoe Collective.